What's going on YouTube? It's Levi with the Dial Up Boys, and we are at the Dial Up Homestead. And we got a doozy of an episode today. We've had some destruction, we've had some good things happen, and here's a little sneak peek about what we got going on. Alright, stay tuned. Alright, we are getting ready to head back. We just got our first few lambs and sheep for our first flock of sheep. We got some Katahdin sheep here. We got 2 ewes, 2 mama ewes, and then there's a little ewe lamb back there. So stay tuned and keep on watching the Dial It Up Homestead. As you can tell, this ewe looks like a dang calf. She has been fed real good. There ain't no baby in there. She's just real fed. She likes that though. The ones we got them at a good price. More than anything, they just seem very skittish. Looks like they're very well grain fed, but we're gonna try to transition that slowly, safely to grass-fed, grass-finished lamb. You might not be able to tell, but right here, right behind me, where that trash can is in the bucket, that's where the greenhouse was. We had a tornado come blow through here, took the whole greenhouse away and destroyed it. Man, it was some wreckage out here. Most of the plants made it. With the tornado, we've had a few bad rainstorms too, and some of our plants have been completely just washed away. I'll give you a little show of that. Sticking with the plants for a second, the next tragic thing that happened are these blueberries. We planted some bare root blueberries. You can't even tell. It looks just like a little stick. And that's because they have seemed to not really be taken off. Blueberries need some really acidic soil, and that's not really what we have here. Here is what used to be a strawberry patch that we started this year. We planted 10 bare roots. We had one here, one over there, one over there. Those are the only 3 that made it. And we had 10 of them planted from here all the way to just on the other side of that dog. So only 3 of the 10 made it. That rain just washed it all away. I tried using natural amenities to kind of help boost them, and it can help, but bare roots are pretty fragile at first. So unless you get it just right, they're not going to make it. Here's an update on the tomatoes and peppers. Most of them are doing pretty good. The rest of those little starts, we haven't put anything yet. We're kind of going to do a second round of peppers and tomatoes. But some of these are looking real good. I mean, that one's starting to get too big for this pot, so we need to go put that in the ground. I mean, it has a little flower on there. See right there. But here's another tomato. Got a whole group of 6 tomatoes in there. All these are different kinds of peppers. They turned out fine, even after the tornado. This is one female. And also an update on this, we went ahead and finished it all off. All the pins are built. We are going to fill this up with 4 females and 2 males in the next couple days. So stay tuned for that. There's some sheds we found. And then here is the other female that we got. These are both New Zealand rabbits. So the next tragedy that we had here on the farm was our female breeder rabbit that we had. She died. We don't really know what happened. I almost wonder if she was just getting sick, and it was just a really hot day, and so I can't really tell you. And also they're rabbits, and not that life doesn't matter, but she, they don't last very long. They're pretty fragile creatures, but we had a male after that, and we went ahead and got rid of him because they are kind of social creatures, and so we didn't want to keep him by himself, and that could just cause stress, and then he could die because of stress. So we went ahead and got rid of them, but we got these two to replace. I'm inside the pen with it, and let me tell you, if you're going to build a rabbit setup like this, where you kind of have multiple pins, making it big enough where you can kind of climb inside like this, not all the way inside, but just your upper half, it really does help out. So I'm in the pen with this little lady right here. Just got her today, and I will tell you that this is one of the most beautiful New Zealand rabbits I've ever seen. She has a really, really pretty underbelly, that white fur with the black fur on top. I've had lots of New Zealand rabbits that are black. They're just black all the way around, and they're almost like different shades of black, like a brown and a chocolate and a black, but I've never had one that's been black on top and white on bottom, and that might go away. But right now it's really beautiful. Here we go. Look at that. Really pretty. Mac, what do you think?
Oh my.
Yeah. All right. Back with the plants. Here's a strawberry patch we started last year. We did 4 bare roots. We did 2 here and then 2 over there, and they both have done really well. We've gotten a couple strawberries off them already this year, but with our bare roots we got this year, we started 3 more over here, and only one of them is still alive after that hard rain we had. So it was an interesting time, and not just interesting because of the plants, but it got so flooded up over here where we live that it was down in my basement, and I spent the last week getting all that rain out. I love this for the chickens. Let the grass grow a little bit. The bugs are out. Chickens come out here and eat all the bugs. And as you'll see later, we got something else that'll come out here and eat all the grass. All the trees that we planted on that last episode, they're all looking good. But one tree, this sorry son of a gun right here, doesn't look so good. Does not look good. Just a stick in the ground, really. I say that, but way down here at the bottom, you kind of see some new growth on it. But this was all budded up. There was leaves on all these. And then since last episode, had a really hard freeze. Not even a freeze. I think it got down to like 33, 34, maybe 33, but probably closer to 34, 35. And that was just enough to kill it, kind of. I mean, I don't think it's dead, the tree itself, but I don't think it's going to grow much this year. So that's not good. And here's some of the potatoes. We got 1 row, 2, 3, Mac, 4, 5, and 6. And then down there, kind of see the onions all bunched up. We got 4 rows in 2 different sections, 2 different kinds of onions. All those turned out good. The rain didn't seem to mess with them too much, but I think those potatoes are best that I've tried growing so far. Like, they are the biggest by this time, this early on. So hopefully that'll mean some nice, good, juicy potatoes. Here's something I think is pretty cool. It's growing great this year. I spent some time and came through and weeded this a lot. But this is some grapes. We are in the first couple days of May, and we already got some grapes starting to form on there. This whole woody looking thing right here, that's a grapevine that we planted, I don't know, 8 years ago, 9 years ago. This right here is one of our little blackberry patches. Till they're all starting to get flowered up and pollinated. See those bugs crawling around on there? Here soon we'll get some blackberries, make some blackberry mead, some blackberry wine. Yeah, I love blackberries. And this right here, this little jungle mess right here, goes that way a little bit. Excuse the dirty little watering hose. But this is another blackberry patch, and this one hasn't quite started to flower yet. But if I do remember right from the last couple of years, it almost kind of grew in 2 different seasons. So I wonder if they're a different variety. But so now I'm in the coop, the chicken and duck coop, and I'll show you something here, but we're not really going to mess with it a whole lot. But I'll show it to you, and then we'll get to the fun stuff. That pile of poopy eggs, those are duck eggs, and the 3 mama ducks have been taking turns sitting on them, keeping them warm. Woohoo! For a few days now. So hopefully here in about 30 days we'll have some ducklings waddling around out here. This is the moment that I've been waiting to talk about. I've been excited about getting sheep for a long time. So we got 3 Katahdin ewes. 2 of them are 3 years old, and the other one is 5 months, almost 6 months. And then the 4th one in here is a ram. He is also a Katahdin, but he has a little bit of painted desert sheep in him. I think it was his grandfather, if I remember them telling me correctly. And you'll see that we kind of are having to work slowly with them. They weren't handled a whole lot before, and they were fed a lot of grain, so they're pretty much on that thick side. So we're kind of trying to teach them that the grass is good and grain is not as good for them. Also, you got to excuse the mess. I know it looks a little bit ridiculous, but this way we can kind of keep them pinned in. And what we got is we have an electric fence right here, these wires. And then right next to the wires we have some pallets, or we have like some junk over here. And all it is teaching them that the electric fence is the actual barrier of their area, not the pallets or the junk or whatever, because they weren't out on pasture. All these were in some sort of feedlot style of place. But you can see, I'll show you in just a second, where they've been eating and how much they like the grass now versus the grain after being here for a couple days. So this little one right here, the one that's closest to us, that's the ram. And you can kind of see the right on his head there when he kind of looks toward me. Those little things that kind of stick out a little bit. He has a little bit of horns. Typically, Katahdin rams do not. But with his grandpa being painted desert, he might get some small horns. And then the other 3 are the ewe Katahdin sheep. The one in the middle is the youngest of the ewes. And the one in the back is easily the fattest one. Let me tell you, that was a hoss of a sheep trying to catch. But here they are. So if you look right over there, you can kind of see it a little bit. There's those little, almost like rock-looking things. That's some grain. I did put some grain out for them. We can't just take them completely off. We got to wean them down. But right here, you can see right where the ram is standing, how the grass is really short right there. That was the edge of where they were at for the first 24 hours with us. And we've given them this much more. And you can see over in that corner where they've eaten it down, And right in here, I don't know, they're kind of just eating it down. And they're leaving the grain alone mostly. And they're kind of working more on this grass. I'm standing right next to the fence, like where we just were. So I'm planning here to move the fence out this way in the next couple days. And once he can kind of get used to having no exterior barrier like the pallets, we're going to go ahead and try to put them on a full rotational grazing style of fencing. So no pallets, no real barrier, just the electric fence with a couple of the Mac and Millie as guard dogs in there with them. So, all right, first addition to the homestead in the sheep category. This is our Katahdin Ram. We don't have a name for him yet. I'll let you guys know what we do. There's the guard dogs. It's Mac and Millie, good dogs, throw them a bone. Yeah, see, she's all about it. Those good dogs. We got an electric fence here. There's another one of my dogs. Electric fence is turned on, just gives them a little zap when they do something they shouldn't. That's the update for the dialed up homestead. No real progress being made today, just kind of working slow with the rabbits and with the sheep. So stay tuned. Hopefully here soon we'll have some nice good build videos, and gonna try making a self bow this year for hunting, so that'll be fun. So yeah, stay tuned and catch you on the next one.
Hey, what are you doing?
Yeah, come on, subscribe, do it.
It's free.
One click, do it.
Come on.
All right, get out of here.